Hey, it's Joe, and welcome to another episode of the Test Guild Automation Podcast. And today we'll be talking with Sanjay Kumar all about SelectorsHub and a bunch of brand new tools he keeps rolling out. Really excited to have him back on the show. He's the inventor and creator of SelectorsHub, Testing Daily, TestCafe Studio, TestCaseHub, and XPath, which I think was his previous company. And he's on a mission to make testers and developers' life easier, which he has with these apps that you have to stick around to hear all about. And what's really cool is he doesn't work for any company. He works for himself, just creating community around all these tools. So really excited to have him back on the show. You don't want to miss this episode. Check it out. This episode of the Test Guild Automation Podcast is sponsored by the Test Guild. Test Guild offers amazing partnership plans that cater to your brand awareness, lead generation, and thought leadership goals. Get your products and services in front of your ideal target audience. Our satisfied clients rave about the results they've seen from partnering with us, from boosted event attendance to impressive ROI. Visit our website and let's talk about how Test Guild can take your brand to the next level. Head on over to testguild.info and let's talk. Hey, Sanjay, welcome back to the Guild.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. It's been a while. I think we had you in on episode 294 back in March of 2020. I know you've been really busy, so I guess before we get into it, is there anything in your bio that I missed that you want the Guild to know more about?
Nothing. Pretty much absolutely you have already mentioned over there. And yes, you are right. Like around 2 years back when we recently launched SelectorsHub, that's where we had this last podcast.
Wow, very good. So for people that may have missed that episode, or I don't even know if we cover this, what is SelectorsHub?
SelectorsHub is, okay, so earlier I used to give the definition of SelectorsHub as a tool, just one tool, SelectorsHub, but now SelectorsHub is a company. Under that, we have lots of products. So under SelectorsHub, our aim is to build the productivity boosters tool for our testers, for our testing community, absolutely free. So basically, we are trying to create to solve the each and every small problems of testers and provide them utilities, tools, whether it is like browser extension or web app or mobile app or an API. So any kind of solution we are just trying to create and help them on their day-to-day work.
Awesome. So what's the main functionality, though? What's the name of the plugin? I don't know if you renamed it. It actually helps you find locators and things like that.
Yes. So for finding locators, we have SelectorsHub, which is the main product under SelectorsHub. So SelectorsHub is a kind of like XPath and Selectors IDE, which is available as a browser plugin, and it is available across, in fact, like for all the browsers out there, and it is the highest rated Chrome browser plugin, Firefox plugin. And in fact, like today, it is under top 20 Chrome developers tools out there. So in top 20 right now, it is, and more than 200K active users.
Of all plugins?
All developer plugins, yes.
Wow. So it's interesting. A developer plugin. So who's the tool for?
This is for testers. So if you are a Selenium user, if you are a Playwright user, if you are a Cypress user, WebDriver IO, or any web automation framework you are using, this is for you. And in fact, everybody is using today. Also, it helps a lot for the web developers. If you are doing web scraping, so they are also using SelectorsHub to write the XPath, to get the XPath, and it helps a lot in many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have been messing around with RPA, an RPA tool called Robot Motion, and it has nothing to do with testing. Doesn't mention testing at all. I'm thinking of doing a video on this because I don't think people that use this tool even know about SelectorsHub. But in order to interact with the web browser, you need to find out XPath and CSS paths and things like that, which I have a feeling people using this tool have no idea. So using SelectorsHub was able to find the different selectors and elements I need to interact with. So it was a big time saver. So
Wow.
I think if you're an RPA, here's another tool you could definitely use to help you interact with your different elements on your web page. I guess that's a use case you may have heard of before, but it really did help me when I was doing that.
Wow, that's good to know. Thanks.
Absolutely. Very cool. So I know you also have another offering called Selectors Pro. I just curious to know what that includes as well.
Yeah, so SelectorsHub Pro is basically is a kind of like fund generator for selectors of free tools under selectors of umbrella, because because we are providing all the free tools. So for that region, we lots of people, like in many companies there was a restrictions that they cannot use the free tools. So we got a request from lots of our users that can we have, even if it will be just a coffee cost, not even a coffee cost, then also it is fine. But just that, like if there is something pro, some enterprise companies allowed that easily and client. So that's where we introduced selectors of pro. It is absolutely almost pretty much free, so just a coffee cost. It has lots of advanced feature which can boost up your productivity at least like 3 to 4 times, which you are saving time with selectors of free. Like there we have selectors healing feature, selectors of own inspector. You can test whether your XPath in selectors is stable or not, like because lots of people used to have a difficulty of dynamic XPath. So that's where we have, like you can test your XPath is dynamic or not. Their own inspector is there, so you need not to select Chrome DevTools inspector again and again, and lots of great features are there.
Absolutely. So I know older people may be familiar with Firebug, which I don't think is available anymore. So
Yes,
how would you compare Selectors Hub to Firebug? I don't know if you must remember
yes, yes.
Firebug, but yeah,
Yeah. So, like all the plugins, in fact, the one which I created before Selectors Hub. So all those plugins, whenever we talk about like XPath plugin, this thought comes in mind that they are the uh, plugins to generate the XPath, copy the XPath of selectors. But that was not the idea behind SelectorsHub. SelectorsHub is the very first smart editor which helps you to write your own XPath in selectors smartly. Like an auto suggest is there, auto healing, auto suggest feature is there, like in a smart editor like IntelliJ and all. Like in IntelliJ or smart editors, if you do any mistake, any uh, syntax error in your code, they immediately highlight. So that's where SelectorsHub comes. It helps you to understand that what is wrong in your selector, what is possible, what is not possible. So this is the very first smart editor, and that's how it makes a huge difference from other plugins. And this is SelectorsHub, and that's the one of the reason like everybody today recommends it, recommend this tool SelectorsHub, because it helps in your learning. This is the only tool which supports Shadow DOM, which supports nested iframe, nested Shadow DOM, iframe inside Shadow DOM, SVG, and a lot more. In fact, this is now been recommended by Selenium as well. If you like in Selenium websites, also Selectors Hub has been mentioned. So, which is like a, I mean, great achievement for Selectors Hub, and big thanks to Selenium community for having it there.
absolutely. And it ties directly into DevTools, so it's like a
Yes, yes,
seamless experience with people. Uh,
absolutely.
it does it rate things because it has like numbers 167, like it has different numbers next to each type of selector. So is that a weighting system to say, hey, yeah, you could use this, but this higher rated one may be more
No, no,
reliable? Is that how it
that is
works?
a matching count of that selector with respect
Gotcha.
to that in the, I
Okay.
mean, DOM. So how many occurrences are there for that particular selector? So that is the count it shows in circle, green, red, or orange color.
Nice. Now, is there any functionality built into Selectors Hub that people don't know about? Maybe they're just using it to find an element, but like they don't really realize the power of something that may be
Yes.
lurking
So
underneath.
yes, absolutely. There is a XPath healing feature which people might not have ever explored. Very few people have explored that. XPath healing is the something that like most of the web automation script, why they go in backlog, because whenever there is a UI change happen, all of your XPath start breaking, and nobody likes to fix all the XPath one by one or go back and check which is breaking. So XPath healing is a feature where you paste your complete script, irrespective of is what is there in your script, whether import statement, junk block, whatever it is there, you just paste everything in selectors hub, and it will fetch all the XPath, and it will show you all the matching nodes, which XPath are working, which XPath got changed. So you can immediately fix like this, and your complete automation script will be like whatever has gone in backlog, you can fix that immediately. So that is one of the very good feature in selectors of which is XPath healing. We also have in pro version selectors healing, which verifies everything: XPath, CSS selectors, ID, name, etc.
Very cool. All right. So I think that was the first thing that you came out with, and then, as I said, over every month, it seems like you're releasing something new. I don't know what order things showed up in, but I could have sworn maybe a TestCase Studio came next. I could be wrong, but
Yes, you are right. You are right. So TestCase Studio was the next one just after the SelectorsHub we launched. So TestCase Studio is basically solving the problems of testers, those who do the exploratory testing, or you can say functionality testing. Because what happened many a times, you followed a lot of steps, or there is a corner case where you got a bug. Now it becomes really difficult to recall all the steps which you have followed to reproduce that issue, right? One cannot remember 50 steps which he has followed to reach that particular point. So that's where I got that idea, can we have something which can like automatically tell me at the end of the day that these were the steps which you have followed, you just repeat them, or you just paste it to developer that these are the steps to reproduce the issue, and get the screenshot automatically for each steps, highlight the field, so I will not have to do it manually. So that's where I got the idea of TestCase Studio, and TestCase Studio is a simple browser plugin. You just add it in your browser. It used to convert each and every action into plain English sentence, and it will generate the screenshot and highlight the field. So whenever you get a bug, you just paste that. Many people also use it as a test case generator, like test steps generator. So whenever you have to document something that you have done this testing, you can just turn on before you start your testing, and it will record all these steps. You can save them, and you can have it as a proof that you have done this testing.
oh, very nice. It does also create XPath for you as well as you're recording,
Yes,
so you can
so
maybe almost like an IDE.
absolutely. So you are right. In the background, it used the SelectorsHub. So it used to also record XPath and selectors for each step, so that it becomes very helpful for those who write the automation script. And like you need not to go back to your browser if you want to automate those steps. So you directly get it from there. In fact, like I would like to mention that this was the most like Naveen Automation Labs has created this tutorial on TestCase Studio, and that was one of the most watched video in his channel in last 1 year. So that is the kind of popularity, like one video got almost like 60,000 plus views.
And that's due to, like you said, you could record a bug that you found and just set it in Jira or to your developers to help you communicate. It's almost like a communication tool, it sounds like.
Yep. So basically, like it gets gives you steps automatically to reproduce the bug. It gives you the screenshot. It also like gives you the steps which you can save it as a like proof of testing that you have done this testing. Let's say you have, because we do a lot of testing but we cannot document everything. What if like tomorrow any issue comes in production, how you can prove that you have done this testing? So that's where it comes in picture. You just click on the logo before you start testing. It will record all the steps. You just download them or save them in Jira or wherever you want. Whenever any issue comes in production, you will have that proof, and there will not be kit kat fight between developers and tester that this is your miss and this is the. In fact, many developers use it today.
Oh, nice. I also think it'd be, maybe I'm wrong, be helpful for exploratory testing. So you're going to do an exploratory testing session, you start it, and you don't know what's going to happen, but maybe along the way you find an issue and you're like, oh, wow, it's already recorded. You don't have to remember what the heck you did to get there.
Absolutely. And this is absolutely different from those record and play plugin, because many times people got confused that, oh, this is something like Catalan recorder or Selenium IDE, or many more recorder are there. So this is not something where you can just record and play the script. No, this is not. This is just to record the steps, screenshot, and which actually be useful in future, because generally whatever script you record from recorder plugin, that you are not able to replay because locators get changed, a lot of things happen. Yeah.
Right, so, like I said, it sounds more like a communication tool, a way to help find issues and document it, which is great.
Absolutely.
I
In
just work
fact,
for
this is the highest rated recorder plugin, all 5 star
come
till
on.
today.
All your stuff's highly rated. That's crazy.
All 5 star for TestCase Studio till date.
You know what I love about it too? You're not maybe I'm wrong again, but I believe you're not just tied to Chrome. Like it works for all the browsers. I think if you
All
work
the
for like
browsers. All the
Tor,
browsers. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes, all the browsers. It is available in all browser stores, and we never stop giving the updates. If any small feedbacks come from the community, any issue, we immediately update and keep adding more and more features in all across all the tools. Like today, we have so many tools, so we just keep updating, keep adding more features, and we listen our community.
Love it. And once again, I believe this comes with the Pro version. So if people want to upgrade it, what comes with the Pro? Does it have like storage or something?
Yes, so TestCase Studio Pro version is also there. So again, like lots of great more automation. I mean, more time saver features are there. You can record the screen. There is a URL for each step, and a lot more features are there. Like more commands feature are there, and you get the like with each step you get the URL with better screenshot and a lot more things you used to get. More customization options are there. So yeah, and again it's just like a coffee cost. I would say like just $2.5 per month it is. So $30 in a year you have to pay, which basically goes to support all the free products which we offer under SelectorsHub.
Yeah, it's a no brainer for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you also have something called TestCaseHub. Is that a
Yes.
product?
Yes.
What's that
Yeah.
all about?
So that is our third product which we launched in a line. So test case hub is basically a kind of like encyclopedia of test cases where community writes the test cases, and whenever they need they use it. So you see today, like let's say you have a company and you need to get a feature tested, but you don't have a tester which has expertise in that particular domain or area. So how can you make sure that your tester does a good quality or cover all the test cases which is required? So from where do you get them? So here we have a test case hub. You can ask your team member that go there, search for the test cases and cover those test cases, do those testing. And once they are covered, those test cases, you will be sure that okay, this has at least basic functionality cover, core functionality cover, and then like whatever your business use cases that he will be covering. And here in test case hub, community is writing the test cases and community is reviewing the test cases, and that's how they are there. Today so many people are already contributing and reviewing the test cases, and many people used to call it like it's a kind of like stack overflow for testers. Like today you see in stack overflow every coding problem solution is there. Similarly we have here, because for testers test cases, test scenarios are required. Like credit card, what are the scenarios for credit card which we can cover? In fact, like if you gave a functionality to test to me like login today, I might be able to tell you 5 test cases. I'm 100% sure day after tomorrow I will not be able to tell you same these 5 scenarios whatever I have today. And it also depends on the mood of a tester, that whether you, if you are happy today you might cover good scenarios, tomorrow you are upset you might not be able to cover good scenarios. So that's where I got this idea of TestCaseHub, and we built this. It's a kind of repo, single page web application. You go and search there for test cases. For like you just type login, you will get the login test cases. You will see who is the person who has written the test cases. You will see who is the person who has reviewed the test case, and with each and every test case, LinkedIn profile is attached there. So you will find it there, like who is the person who has written the test cases or reviewed the test case. And this is a very like. Uh, early stage for this tool. It is evolving, and over the time, like once more and more test cases will be getting added over there, and that's how like it will keep helping community.
Absolutely. So actually, just now I went there before you even mentioned login. I typed in login. It came up with, I think, 26 or 30, 28 entries. And it's really cool. It does things by priority and it gives you all types of things you may not have thought about. So if you, like you said, starting on testing a project and maybe you're just looking to kickstart some ideas, this looks like a great tool for that as well.
Yes.
Awesome. I also like how you have it. You can kind of separate things by priority.
Absolutely.
If it's
Filters
positive or negative, if it's
Yes.
an API test, a mobile test, a lot of cool things going on.
Yeah, filters are there. You can submit the test cases, write the test cases if you feel anything is missing, because you are working today in a company, and if you left that company tomorrow you might not getting those test cases, so you can write those test cases here, and wherever you go in the future you will always access those test cases, and whole community can take an advantage of your expertise.
Nice. And you can also upvote things, like you said. It is kind of like
Absolutely, yeah. You can
so.
upvote, you can everything.
Yeah, I love it. So how is this growing? How many do you know how many test cases you have in there as of now? How can people contribute to help
Yes,
expand the knowledge base of it?
absolutely. So there are around 100 people already contributed there. Lots of reviewers are there, and you can just go there, create account, and start writing the test cases. And somebody will from the community will review them. And in fact, you will also your profile will also automatically get updated to reviewer once your 100 test cases got approved and listed there. Already there are more than, I guess, around 1,000 test cases. You will also see the numbers of like how many are published, under review, and how many submitted, so everything is there. So this is absolutely like open, everything can be seen there. And you can see that for which on the I guess left top corner you can see that all functionalities for which test cases are available, and how many like all the reviewers, all the contributors, top contributors of the week, and everything you will find it over there. So this is going to like this is a evolving kind of tool which will evolve over the time. As much as community will contribute, it will evolve and will be helpful for community.
Absolutely. And it has a bunch of different things: sign in, sign up, register, search, payment, password. So definitely check it out if you haven't already, because I think it really would save testers a lot of time. So that's great. Any other functionality there that we didn't touch upon that you think people need to know about?
uh Test case hub, I guess that's pretty much we have covered most of the thing over there. And yes, people will explore. As they explore, just go and search anything. You just type your functionality name, it will help you.
Love it. 100% free as well.
Yeah,
So definitely check
100%
that
free.
out. And I'll have the links to all this in the show notes also. So there's two more I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all these, but by the time we go to this interview, you might even have more. But these are the ones that are there as of now.
Yeah.
Uh, Next one is testing daily.
Oh wow.
What is testing daily?
Yes, testing daily is like amazing. One of the most favorite product, in fact, uh, mine, and now the like communities as well. So it has been buzz around, a lot of buzz about this tool. So testing daily is like very simple concept actually. So you see that like today, lots of time it happened that used to go to many conferences. So, and in fact on LinkedIn, many times I ask people that how you keep up getting the updates about the like what's happening in testing around. And so people used to say like we follow on YouTube lots of like we used to follow lots of YouTube channel. On LinkedIn we follow leaders, on Medium we follow few people, Twitter we check. So it is like kind of scattered that from so many platforms you have to check that what new came today in testing. And like people like you, your news so is there, so I follow that regularly. Like every week you comes with the so, and in that like we get a lot of information. But I thought like what if like every day, every moment I want to know that what new came in testing, what's happening around, what people are writing over Medium, because we cannot go and check every day Medium. We can, I mean it's almost impossible for someone that go open Reddit, open Twitter, open LinkedIn, open YouTube, or open Medium, check every testing website what people are creating different like Lambda test is there, aptitools is there, so many companies are there, everybody is writing blogs. So that's where I got an idea of this testing daily. And first I launched the testing daily plugin, where what it is doing basically, it is uh, collecting all the information, whatever new blogs, whatever new video comes on different platforms, and it just simply lists down all of them at testing daily page. And you just start scrolling and you will get all the information. Okay, on YouTube these videos, new videos came from like 100, more than 200 YouTube channel, we are fetching the data today and showing them. And if you want to watch them, you just click and it will take you to their YouTube channel, or you can just directly watch it over there itself. Similarly, like any articles, any blog comes on Medium. Today we have like almost 150 plus Medium authors. We are already fetching. If any new article comes there on Medium, immediately it starts showing here that okay, these many articles comes there. Similarly, like Reddit, Lambda test, if they are writing any blogs, because lots of blogs they used to write on over Lambda test are being written. Similarly, like VTest and so many companies are there, Test Rigger, so Prover, anything they write, immediately we used to show here. So that was the idea behind it. And now whole community is like, you see, we launched it, I guess, in January. Just been 3 months, and more than it's in the hand of more than 10,000 testers today. And we got so much demand of it that we launched the web application, then we launched the mobile app as well.
Awesome. It's like a news aggregator for testing
Absolutely.
automation.
Yeah, that's the
Awesome.
right word.
So it's a great way to start your morning as well. So definitely download it, check it out, see what's going on. It's especially in this industry, things are constantly changing. You definitely need something like this to keep up to speed, I think.
Yep, absolutely. And another idea for the mobile app was, I mean, first the when we launched the extension, the idea was that it was surrounding around that nobody is going to use, Sanjay, a new app. You're creating so many apps, and then like you will say that people use one more app, so people will not use it. So I was like struggling behind this, that how can I create something that without using it, it get used. You will not have to do a single click to get the news, to get the testing news. And that's where we got the browser plugin idea of testing daily, that anyways you open new tab every time, right? So you just open new tab and we will show you the feed. If you want to read that, you just read that. Otherwise, you are going to open your website, you open your website, simple. So in that 3-4 seconds of like time gap, you open new website, you type your URL, we will show you something new. Oh, there is a new show by TestScale, or there's a new article by Prover or someone. So that immediately you get to know.
Awesome. All right, and now the final one, which I think is a huge pain point, I think you probably heard a lot about, and that's why you came up with this. I don't know how old this is. Maybe this is a month old as of now. I covered it
Yes.
on my new show, but it is the AutoTestData plugin. What is the AutoTestData plugin?
Okay, yeah. So AutoTestData is a simple single page web application. The idea behind this was one day I like this testing daily. I created this plugin, and we were expecting that like lots of user going to use it, so lots of sign up and other stuff will be there. So we wanted to test it. Like I wanted to test this for a lot of email ID and lots of users. And I was like struggling, and I was just writing manually, like in Excel sheet. I was just typing this, okay, this email ID, that email ID, fake user data I was creating. Then I thought, no, this is not the right way, something must be there. So I called Mukesh and I asked him, like, how do you generate the data for testing? So he told like some of the faker libraries he used to use. And I checked out some of the tutorial, and I found like people are writing code, maintaining them. What if like tomorrow some library get updated, or what if like I don't have right now the code setup? I mean, if I'm a manager or some kind of people that who is at higher management side, he might not be having that IntelliJ or a smart editor or code setup in that, but he need the data. So how can we resolve this problem, that any kind of data what you need, you just go there and click and it should be get generated. So basically we used this concept, and that's where we created this single page web application where you will be able to create your data just in 3 clicks. Open autotestdata.com, whatever field you need, email ID, you need name, you need pin code, mobile number, anything as per your convenient, whatever you need, in whichever format you need, and the number of rows you need, everything you can get it. And it is so helpful that today everyone is talking about it and everybody is using it. Whether you are a like whatever kind of testing you are doing, it is helpful for you.
So when I started my testing career, I started off as a performance engineer, and so we needed a lot of data to generate, right? So I had to create
Absolutely.
funky functions. I would create a random name generator, a random telephone name generator. Now I could have just gone to this application, 3 easy steps. You type in the fields you need, you choose the
Yeah.
data format, and then how many rows you want, and it spits it all out like within seconds. It is crazy. Very cool.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
any use cases other for this that you've seen? Like I've definitely think would help with performance testing. Um, is there like an API people could tag into, or is it more of a manual process where they need to define it first and then download the file to upload to whatever tool they're using?
Yes, so actually, like API, so API, in fact, like we have used the Faker APIs only in the background. We just provided the user interface. So there is a simple button, copy button. You click on that, and you need not to download every time because there will be lots of file in your system. So that's the reason we considered the usability there. We provided copy button, refresh button is there. You can generate the different data if you don't like that. So there is a copy button, click on this, paste it wherever you want. Like another usability, like you asked, so lots of people use feature file in Cucumber framework. So you see that there is a separate by pipe option is there, so you can generate the data separated by pipe. You generate that, click on copy, directly paste it in your Cucumber framework feature file. There you can use the data in that way for any kind of automation framework, whatever you are using. You might be required in JSON data in JSON format, you might require in Excel, CSV, whatever format. You can simply just click and download, or you can copy and paste it there. So in API testing also, you might require, you require, like, not just might, you definitely require a lot of data. So in all cases you required this to test your feature, feature functionality, whatever you say.
Yeah, really great tool. I think it's going to save people a lot of time.
Then there are like lots of feature that you have options, whatever field you select with respect to that. If you want to generate in different format, like lots of people want to generate at the rate gmail.com, or with your company specific domain name you want to generate the email, you have the option. You can swipe the rows, you can do that, you can select the date in whichever format you want. Lots of feature are there, so people can just explore them, and it's very simple tool. Nothing much is required to tell. It's everything self-explanatory over there. Click, 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 and we have already attached the tutorial in the bottom, so people can watch and just simply use it.
Yeah, I was going to mention it. It's very simple. You just go to the website. It's intuitive. I mean, you don't even think you need a tutorial, but it's very cool what you can do for sure. All right, Sanjay, I know you probably have a lot of things in the backlog. Anything you can share with us? Any upcoming things, or is it too soon to talk about anything else that you may be cooking up at
uh,
Selectors Hub?
Yes, yes. So definitely, like if I don't create something new for a week, I feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. So yes, definitely there are lots of things in pipeline, and in fact, like in each and every tool we are right now, like testing daily and AutoTestData is evolving and very fresh tools. Both of them are. So I'm working really hard and making sure that people can make them best use of them and utilize their, and lots of great innovations and feature are in the pipeline which I'm implementing. In fact, like testing daily, soon a new release is coming in, which will be more user friendly, and it will make better feature, better look and feel everything for people. So just similarly on Autotest Data and all the tools out there. So yeah.
Okay, Sanjay, before we go, is there one piece of actionable advice you can give to someone to help them with their automation testing efforts? And what's the best way to find, contact you, or learn more about all these different plugins in upcoming releases?
Yeah, so you just go to selectorshub.com, and in the homepage itself, like one can find about each and every tool right there. So links and everything will be there, so you can always check out there. And I used to keep creating the tutorials on YouTube channel, because these days, like, we have the Medium, so always prefer to give the live demo and everything, so they can get all the latest update from there. They can follow and subscribe there. And apart from that, like, I always recommend people, whenever you use any tool, before exploring by yourself, always recommend, well, I mean, it's not just these tool, my tool, any tool you use, before exploring by yourself, please watch the tutorial, or read the uh, like blog or article about that page by the creator or by the community who own that product, so that you can make the best use of it. Because many a times I found, like, people come up with a, like, question or doubt which is like very very like simple. If they would have followed that, they could have like save a lot of time with that, because every product is like a automation tool. Everything we develop, we create, is something like which is going to save your time. Is everything is utility in this world. Everything is automation tool.
Thanks again for your automation awesomeness. For links to everything of value we covered in this episode, head on over to testguild.com/A443. And if the show has helped you in any way, why not rate it and review it in iTunes? Reviews really help in the rankings of the show, and I read each and every one of them. So that's it for this episode of the Test Guild Automation Podcast. I'm Joe, and my mission is to help you succeed with creating end-to-end, full-stack automation awesomeness. As always, test everything and keep the good. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Test Guild Automation Podcast. Head on over to testguild.com for full show notes, amazing blog articles, and online testing conferences. Don't forget to subscribe to the Guild to continue your testing journey.